What's up everybody, AnimeX here, and in this video I'll be doing a follow-up video to the What If Naruto Was MHA series. Since it did so well and it was so well received by you guys, I'll just be continuing after the events of the last part, and if you haven't watched it, I do recommend that you watch it so you understand the story, kind of what's going on, and the direction that I'll be taking this series. I'll leave a link to that video in the top right hand corner, and in the description below if you guys are interested in watching it. If you just need a refresher, I will be recapping the last part of the series and jumping right back into the story. But just one thing. As you guys know, if you watched the last video, there was a light goal that I implemented on that for the first time. I kind of liked how that worked out. It gave me a kind of clear vision of what type of video you guys want. So let's try that again. If you guys want a part 3 to this, hit that like button. The light goal for this one, since you guys hit 40 likes so easily, I'm just going to raise it just a little bit. It'll start getting incrementally harder, guys, but I'm just going to raise it to 60 likes. 60 likes if you guys want a part 3 rather than any other type of what if immediately. These My Hero Academia what ifs seem to be pretty cool. I'm really interested in doing them since it's kind of newfound territory for me. So if you guys want part 3 to this before any other what if, 60 likes is the requirement, and then that'll happen. So let's jump right into it, and without further ado, let's get started. Now, in the last part of the series, I established a couple of basic things like the nature of chakra in the MHA verse, and how Naruto will be learning, or more so creating his own jutsu in the story. Although I went into great detail there, we left off with Midoriya and Naruto becoming bully buddies, and in their pursuit to become the #1 hero, to begin grueling training even as little kids. We left off with their summer training coming to an end, and now we are going to time skip where both Midoriya and Naruto are 14, so kind of where we pick up the original series of My Hero Academia. So, like I said, we'll be time skipping several years to where both Naruto and Midoriya are finishing their days in middle school, and are now approaching the time to where they're going to have to pick what high school they go to. Now, Midoriya and Naruto begin being really ambitious and eager, obviously pick UA High School, just as Midoriya does in the original, as their school of choice, since it is known for producing really strong and really good heroes. Now, at this point, due to their training, Midoriya and Naruto are no slouches in terms of physical strength, speed, and stamina, and they both have unique advantages. Naruto has what he has dubbed Jutsu, which gave Naruto a fairly diverse moveset, and Midoriya gives Naruto more ideas as to how chakra could be applied. Through trial and error, they found out that certain elements can be made and used by chakra, and Naruto can basically make actual clones that can be hit and hit others, and they've even seen that by focusing chakra on his feet or other parts of his body, that Naruto could stick to surfaces or even walk on water. Midoriya, on the other hand, has this intelligence, which not only surpasses Naruto's exponentially, but he also possesses a repertoire of hero's moves fitted for his own abilities, and the analytical ability that he possesses to watch someone fight for a few minutes and then find multiple counters to their fighting style, is what helps him and gives him an advantage in the hero world. To give you a perspective in terms of physical strength or physical ability, Midoriya is peak human and far surpasses his original form, even after the 10 months of training with All Might, showing just how far they've come due to Naruto's never give up attitude, and Midoriya's intelligence and ability to turn that passion into a well thought out plan. Now, even though Naruto and Midoriya are pretty powerful, they're pretty strong, Midoriya especially can't fight an adept quirk user, say like someone like Bakugo, or even say someone like Todoroki, without prep time or ability to observe Bakugo or Todoroki's move a little bit. And to be honest, Naruto isn't stronger than Bakugo as of yet either, and this leads to the entire class, along with Bakugo, mocking them when they say that they want to go to UA. Although more people can kind of understand how they would have the audacity to say that now that they look at Midoriya and Naruto respectively, and they especially make fun of Midoriya though, since he hasn't displayed any quirk and is by all means lower than them in terms of strength and other abilities needed by a hero. This leads to an attitude shift in Midoriya through his difficult training, with Naruto and some of Naruto's brashness and confidence having rubbed off on Midoriya, making him a little bit more confident in his own abilities, although he is still the Midoriya we all know and love. So when Bakugo after class blows up Midoriya's notebook on the other heroes and their habits and stuff like that, this angers Naruto and Midoriya, but instead of getting scared, Naruto encourages Midoriya to actually display his power and flex on Bakugo, and so Midoriya just walks up to Bakugo, with only a slight shake in his voice, tells Bakugo that he isn't scared of him anymore, and that if he keeps underestimating him, he will be surpassed. Now, in that short sentence, Bakugo goes from laughter to a straight face to pure rage, all in a couple of seconds. And then Bakugo just swipes at Midoriya with a big right swing, explosion in hand, and then Midoriya dodges his blow quite casually, knowing that Bakugo would overreact and attack, then grabs Bakugo's arm and judo flips him, just like how he does in the original. And Midoriya just lets go and keeps on walking with Naruto. This encounter infuriates Bakugo to no end, but he's also really confused about the events that transpire. One second he was throwing a punch at Midoriya, the next second he was on his back on the ground, confused. And then, after Midoriya and Naruto leave the room, Midoriya falls down to his knees, dripping in cold sweat. and Midoriya reveals that he was terrified and that he was going to get blown up, and then the training kicked in, and Naruto just smiles as they continue on their way. After taking a shortcut through a tunnel, they both hear a rumbling sound near them, and just like in the original, the slime monster just appears near them, and before they can even react, Naruto and Midoriya are absorbed into the slime, both suffocating and barely able to breathe. Then, Naruto just barely makes the hand sign for Shadow Clone Jutsu, and just when this happens, the slime monster gets bigger and bigger, till he pops and Naruto and Midoriya get away from it. Then, before they see the slime, right before their eyes, they see the slime reform and attack once again, with both of them barely able to dodge. Then, right before they both get hit by another attack, All Might appears and then launches a punch, completely obliterating the slime, and then All Might collects and puts it into a bottle. After all of this is said and done, Midoriya and Naruto ask All Might for an autograph, and then All Might jumps off with Naruto and Midoriya clinging to him tightly. Once he realizes he has to land somewhere safely, he does this on a huge building, not aware of the fact that the slime bottle has disappeared. Either way, All Might is barraged with questions from Naruto and Midoriya, which prompts All Might to tell them one at a time. Midoriya asks All Might if he can become a hero even though he doesn't have a quirk, and when All Might says no, Midoriya's spirit is absolutely crushed. Naruto is actually angry at this, and Naruto then goes off on All Might, telling him that where does he get off telling people that they won't be able to be heroes without quirks, he doesn't know anything about them, and that Midoriya will be the first quirkless hero, and keeps on the rant until All Might shrinks into his small Might form right before their very eyes. This shocks both Naruto and Midoriya, as they are completely confused as to what happened to All Might. All Might then explains his condition and how it happened in a fight between him and a dangerous villain. Then Midoriya, still feeling crushed from his hero telling him that it's impossible for his dream, he reluctantly, with Naruto, walks away and leaves the building. When Naruto and Midoriya are walking away, they see an explosion rise over the building and reluctantly head over there to see that the slime monster is attacking Bakugo. And instantly knowing that it is their fault for messing with All Might, they rush in there as fast as they can. Naruto then builds up chakra on his feet, launches himself at the monster, then Midoriya attempts to get Bakugo free while Naruto distracts it. And then an onlooking small Might transforms into All Might and then attacks the slime, freeing Bakugo and saving Naruto and Midoriya. This results similarly to how it does in the original, with Naruto and Midoriya at the end of the day being confronted by All Might, and him offering the quirk to Midoriya, who showed the most hero-like action, since he obviously is at the most he was the most at the most disadvantageous in that situation. When he accepts, he is worried that Naruto will think he is selfish, but he turns to see Naruto happy and smiling, and actually even tearing up to seeing Midoriya is taking one more step to achieving his dream. He's happy to see Midoriya happy with a new quirk, and just like that, Midoriya and Naruto are slammed into the intense training with All Might. Now, just like in the original, Midoriya gets to training with All Might so he can handle All Might's power, and since they have a measly 10 months, they get to work on training regimen immediately, and All Might comes to find out how strong physically and how strong-willed he is. Just 2 weeks into the training, Midoriya has to increase the rep amount so he can actually benefit from it, and in just 2 months, Midoriya has cleared the entire beach where All Might thought it would take the full 10. After this, All Might decides to give Midoriya his quirk early so he can start practicing with it. This difference in prep time using One for All makes all the difference to Midoriya. And 3 more months of training with All Might, Midoriya has learned how to cloak his body in One for All's power and now possess One for All full cowl. This leaves All Might pretty stunned and happy that he chose Midoriya as his successor and pupil. Meanwhile, during these 5 months, Naruto has been through some of the most grueling training of his life due to the fact that Midoriya gave him a hypothesis on how Shadow Clones work. And this hypothesis was right, leaving Naruto using 10 Shadow Clones to train, and nature releases, although none of them, this allows Naruto to basically train in using nature releases and allows Naruto to progress at an alarming rate. This leads to Naruto learning new jutsu, increasing his own taijutsu. Like I said, he is learning nature release, although none of them are particularly powerful besides wind. He has earth style, which he can make earth walls and even uses to manipulate the ground, soften or harden this to his will, which is pretty useful for saving people. He is now also adept at fire style, enough to make a decent sized fireball, and with wind style, Naruto can make his fire style actually something to be reckoned with. He can also make wind bullets and shoot them out through his mouth, similar to how Danzo can, and he could shoot them through solid concrete when used correctly. Now, after 5 of the 10 months have passed, All Might can think of All Might can think of is doing physical training and Midoriya sparring with Naruto to get their battle experience up. This leads to some pretty intense and interesting fights with Midoriya and Naruto. This also leads to Midoriya and Naruto gaining some fighting experience along with them learning how to combine some of their moves to increase their power of them dramatically. For example, one of them is a shockwave that created by Midoriya, and Naruto makes a wind bullet and fires it into the shockwave, which doubles the strength of that attack. Naruto then realizes that it can increase its power even more if Naruto compresses Midoriya's shockwave using wind style and then adding a wind bullet to that as well. This is kind of using the nature of compression equals power, kind of like how the Rasengan does. This leads to Midoriya shooting off an attack that's compressed, which adds to its power, and then on top of that, the wind bullet added. This creates a true version of this technique, and along with other combo moves, they seem to have an easy time working together. Now, after the 5 months are all over, All Might wishes them luck in the entrance exam, and then just like that, Naruto and Midoriya are off, ready to display their hard work and the fruits of their labor. And that, everybody, is where I'm going to end part 2 of this What If series. This is slowly becoming one of my favorite What Ifs to write, and you guys seem to be liking it as well. If you enjoyed this part, you know what to do. Hit that like button and comment your thoughts on the What If, your own personal What If suggestions, or just flex your power in the comments. Like I said, the like goal for this one is 60 likes, so if you haven't hit that like button and want another What If to come out, or another What If in the series to come out before any other What If, make sure to hit that like button and share it if it, isn't getting to 60 likes organically. And if you are new to the channel and enjoyed the video and haven't already done so, consider subscribing and hitting the bell if you don't want to miss out on future installments of the series. I would love to have you as part of the AnimeX community. So hope you guys enjoyed the video, and as always, this is AnimeX, signing off.